Hello everyone, I'm David, 50 years old, currently living in the U.S. with my family including me, my second wife and 2 sons. I want to start my story by saying that I love both my sons equally. Their ages, respectively, are 29 and 24, both of which are mature and ready to inherit their parents' property. I have been married before, and the result is my oldest son, my 29-year-old Jacobs. My ex-wife and I hastily married, not really compatible with each other, so we were divorced when Jacobs was young. At that time, I didn't have a successful career as today. After I and my ex-wife divorced, Jacobs came to live with me because my wife could not prove to the court that she had the financial and health ability to take care of her son. Perhaps she hated me ever since for stealing her son from her hand, so she intentionally injected in our common son's thoughts with so many false things every time they had a rare chance to meet. My ex-wife's relationship with my oldest son has really caused a lot of toxicity and complications in the life of our current family. After losing everything after divorce, I built a new business with my current wife, and everything is working very well. Both of our sons work in my business, but it seems that my success with my new wife makes my ex-wife unhappy. She still holds her grudges from the day we broke up, and she wants to get back what should have been hers. After years of emotionally and financially abusing me through Jacobs, my ex-wife showed no signs of stopping. She was even greedier, often saying the wrong things about me and my new wife that we were dating when I was in the marriage with her. She turned herself into a victim and made Jacobs harbor some hatred for me and my new wife. We learned this through a close friend of Jacobs who also works for my company. He was worried about Jacobs and confided to me with a condition of not revealing his identity. Of course, we kept our promise and silently watched Jacob's expression. He always appears to be a carefree and understanding person, but behind our back, he was greatly affected by his mother, full of resentment. My current wife and I made a conscious decision to completely remove our ex-wife from our lives when Jacobs turned 18 by sending him away to school and keeping him busy with work. I also made a promise to give him a high position in my company after he graduated. Nevertheless, we still allowed Jacobs to maintain a relationship with his mother without any interference from us. Although I had a bad feeling, and I didn't agree with the relationship between his mother and him, I kept my mouth shut to keep the peace. But I made a serious mistake, guys. After much effort to prove to Jacobs that I loved him and always wanted to treat him fairly, I ended up ruining it all in 1 minute. A week ago, after the family had dinner together, I drank too much and got sleepy, so I went to my room to rest. To make it even worse, I foolishly left my recently drafted will on my desk. Jacobs dug up there to see it. In the will, I mentioned that our company and home will be given to my younger son and new wife. My oldest son Jacobs was said to receive a regular amount of money every 5 years, and nothing more. The reason for this is because my former wife still has a lot of influence on Jacobs, and at the request of our attorney, we were advised to make a will in this way so that she could not interfere with the company and the house we worked so hard to build, hence did not want to be robbed by her. My intention is that if she passed away before me and my wife, the will be rewritten immediately to divide the company and home equally for my 2 children. And yes, my plan was to explain this to Jacobs in a gentle, detailed way so that he would not misunderstand and get envious. But as you can see, things got out of hand. Jacobs was very angry, which I think is easy to understand when being treated unfairly, but his behavior that day exceeded all limits. He stormed down the living room, threw things around to wake me and the others. He used disgusting languages that I had never heard from him before against my wife and me. My youngest son and Jacobs nearly got into a fight when Jacobs took the crumpled testament and threw it in my wife's face. After that, Jacobs left and did not come home or go to work. But things have not stopped there. After Jacobs ran away from home, he tried to spread horrible lies about us and his brother by sending an email to everyone in the family and company. He said that my wife and I repeatedly beat him during the time he stayed with us, that we only cared for our common son and abandoned him. He called us traitors, liars that broke the law. He even threatened to sue us. We were in so much pain hearing these things. Those are exactly the things my ex-wife likes to accuse us of over the years. Of course, my ex-wife used this situation to post crazy posts on Facebook about our family too. I considered having to ask for interference by the law because of the insulting and untrue nature of the posts. But I know that doing so will only add fuel to fire in my relationship with my son. My second wife and son also collapsed many times when they were called by bad names like that by their son and brother. Although they were not biological, they used to love each other. Not stopping there, everything has become much worse. 2 days after Jacobs left, I also lost contact with my young son. My wife and I tried to contact him by all means, but could not know the whereabouts of our son. Worrying and panicking, we suddenly received a call from Jacobs. His voice sounded coldly at the other end of the second. "Hello, old man, remember me? Yes, your poor son. Don't bother to search for your son. He's captured by me now. You are assured that until now he has not lost any hair, but in the next 2 days I am not sure. If that will is not changed into me having the ownership of the house and the company instead of this son of a bitch, he won't survive to walk out of this place. Call me when you and your lawyer complete the will change, and don't tell the police lest I shoot this brat's skull." OMG, he's gone crazy. Jacobs didn't even let me explain a word. After saying this, he immediately turned off the phone. I tried calling and texting to apologize, but kept failing. He gave me a 2-day deadline to change my will, but who knows, in his anger he would hurt my young son. Poor kid. My younger son didn't do anything to deserve this. I love them both the same, but only because of my previous wife that I made such a serious mistake, and now it's threatening my son's life. I won't be able to live if anything happens to them both. If Jacobs harms his brother, I'll lose both of them, one to death and the other to jail, all because of my carelessness and stupidity. I made an emergency appointment with my lawyer to change the will and divide everything equally between the 2 children. I decided not to follow Jacob's orders because I knew who was behind these actions. I can't let my fortune go to Jacobs and his mom's hands. My family will lose everything and run the risk of becoming homeless after Jacobs gets everything. He will definitely kick us out after this. I'm telling you this story from the police station where I am secretly asking for help, so they can investigate where Jacobs is holding my second son. During his anger and carelessness, he didn't think twice and called me from his personal iPhone. I believe the police can track that call signal and find out its whereabouts. I want to save my second son from the hands of Jacob before declaring anything. I am willing to replace the hostage position for Jacobs to arrest. He can do anything to me, but our little son must be safe. Do you think the police will help my family? Am I a little reckless to disobey Jacobs and go to the police no matter what he told me? I really can't live if anything happens to our little son. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I'm so desperate.